What is up, all of you fans out there of Apex Legends? I would assume you would be, otherwise why are you watching the video? We're talking about some exciting news for Apex Legends. My entire desk is shaking because I move so much when I talk, and actually some good things and also some bad things. There's a group of fans out there that are wanting to remove crossplay. This is coming about a year after a lot of pros were wanting to remove it. Why is crossplay under so much fire? All of that, so much more in today's video. And don't forget, we're giving away a low heirloom. All you gotta do is like, comment, subscribe. Picking the winner in a couple of days. A lot of excitement because Respawn finally took the time out of their day to respond to fans over on Reddit. I don't know why they ever stopped doing that, considering how much content is made of it, how much people can hype up the future of the game when you just simply inform them about what you're working on. I think it's a good idea. However, let's jump right into the video. Gosh, I said that in the... Well, it was not my first take, but I said all that in one breath. But firstly, I want to take 10 seconds to shout out our sponsor, Glytch Energy. You guys know I love working for this company, especially with the new formula, because we now have a scientifically backed formula for gamers specifically, which is made for you, going to help you light up the lobby. So make sure to use code JMeyels to get your 20% off. The link is down in the description below. Moonbow's the best flavor, by the way. So if you guys remember last year, there was this big conversation where pro players were wanting to remove crossplay from the game. And I got to give it to them. They had an actual good reasoning as to why they wanted to do this. Like, it wasn't like necessarily clear cut. However, there was a big problem at the time where players were just being DDoSed all the time. And it was really console specifically that was doing a lot of the DDoSing. So because of that reason, they wanted crossplay to be gone from the game because they didn't really find a benefit in there anyways. A lot of these people that are DDoSing, unfortunately, are from console, and they're doing it to a lot of PC players. And if you don't believe me, just look at this guy. But we all know how the pro players can be as well. A lot of them just felt like too that they were only wanting to play against PC pros, so why would they even waste their time with console players? And console players just bring a lot of baggage. They DDoS, they're on higher aim assist, and it's just a total different world. They're not pro players, so why do I even want to waste my time scrimming or playing against people like that? That's at least the philosophy that they had back at that time. So they wanted it removed. And like I said, I understand when it comes to the point of being DDoS and you not wanting to have to deal with that. But the whole DDoSing situation, at least to my knowledge, has been fixed, and they're no longer in that world. Now, as a casual player in the PC community, I actually liked crossplay because I wanted it to stay, because a lot of the times queue times would be very, very slow, and I needed a lot more people to draw from. However, it didn't really benefit me when it came out like I was wanting it to, because it really only benefits the console players mostly, because between PlayStation and Xbox, it's fully crossplay and they get to play with each other regardless, but PC players can only play with them if a console player is actually playing in a party with the PC player. So the PC queue times are still slow because they only have a certain amount of people to draw from. At least the overall player base has gone up because Apex has been growing, so it's really not been that bad lately. And for the most part, as time goes on, people switch from console to PC, never really from PC to console. So over the last few days, Respawn's been very interactive with the community, doing that Reddit AMA, and they also had a really big viral post about them protecting their employees and not going to have a tolerance for harassment. They also had a very viral post about the pay-to-win flatline skin and the iron sights that they would be changing on it. Obviously, this provoked a ton of community feedback, and a lot of people started to respond to these tweets, and a lot of those actually had some very in-depth conversations, and ironically, which we found out to be much of crossplay conversations. One of these conversations, I think, made a very good point here, saying that Apex releases a lot of things half-baked. I talked about this in previous videos, and I definitely have to agree. That being that crossplay came out with no cross progression, next gen launch came out with no 120 FPS, the club feature came out with no casual club competitions or challenges or tournaments to do, and Apex is just a business and profit comes first. He definitely makes a great point. You could also argue the fact that arenas came out with like no esports scene whatsoever, no updates here of recent, so I don't really know what they have planned for that. Just in case you guys weren't aware, there is another game mode in Apex called arenas. It's not battle royale. Yeah, can't believe it. But another conversation about crossplay, and this is what concerns me because this was actually coinciding with what the pros were saying and why they wanted crossplay removed about a year ago, was all the issues that is coming over from the console community. A lot of the things that they're dealing with, PC players say we don't want to deal with. Keep your problems over there and keep our problems over here. When you think of console problems, you think of Strike Pack, you think of Cronus Zen, whatever, and you also maybe think of DDoSing. But when you think of PC problems, you think of wall hacks and aimbot. So the complaint here is that console players have the option to opt out of all of the PC issues like wall hack and aimbot because they're not forced to be in PC lobbies, but PC players, on the other hand, cannot opt out of console players getting in their lobby and using all of their issues. So in response to the competitive integrity of the game with the pay-to-win flatline skin getting a little bit of a nerf, this community member says if Respawn was actually concerned about upholding competitive integrity of the game of Apex Legends, then Respawn would have actually removed crossplay in ranked PC lobbies, would actually ban players on PC using Cronus Zen mods and strike packs, and ban players on PC using wall hacks. The problem with this is all of the issues that are going on console are honestly things that could very well happen on PC anyways. The biggest one I always see is obviously the Cronus and strike pack. But I do have news for you regarding that, because I was actually going to make this a separate video, but in the spur of the moment, I just decided not to. So there's actually a big thing going around where people are discussing the future of the Cronus and strike pack in all of gaming, because seems like many people seem to be taking this direction that Fortnite might be taking, and Fortnite actually issued this where they are now banning hardware that is unapproved. In a recent tweet from Modern Warzone, they said Fortnite has announced a new restricted hardware ban to combat cheat devices such as Cronus Zen and Cronus Max. Players will receive an in-game warning to remove the restricted hardware if once is detected. Any attempts to bypass this will actually result in a permanent ban. Dude, that is massive. That is actually really big. And this is the statement that Fortnite themselves put out, saying starting this season, players who are using restricted devices that provide or intend to provide a competitive advantage may receive an in-game warning to continue playing. Players must remove the hardware and restart Fortnite. Attempts to bypass this restriction will result in a permanent ban from Fortnite. Restricted devices are including Cronus Zen and Cronus Max, so this is absolutely massive. So now that we know this is possible for Fortnite, why can't we do this in all other games as well, including Apex Legends? Because I think a lot of the top players that are going under the radar, not getting detected, probably would be eliminated. So it'd be nice to see something like that in Apex, but one thing I am actually happy for that might be changing soon is the baseline of how BR is played in Apex could be taking a little bit of an update, similar in the way that Apex used to have normal shields, but now we have Evo shields. So in this Reddit AMA, someone asked, are LTMs ever used to test new game features that the team are thinking about implementing into Battle Royale? Robo Bob says sometimes. He's the lead game designer apparently. How is everybody a lead game designer? I had like 4 different people that I've saw are lead game designers. Regardless, he said that they've done this in the past with things like Evo armor, and he wouldn't be surprised if they ran more Battle Royale limited time modes that influence the baseline of BR in the future. So that's something that would be very, very interesting to see. This is where things get exciting. Even if they don't make a change to Battle Royale's baseline from an LTM inspiration, they did say that they were looking for ways to bring more modes into the game permanently after someone asked about, you know, possibly bringing more limited time modes as a permanent, you know, implementation similar to what we think control mode is going to be. They said the team is always exploring ways to improve how we approach LTMs. We've seen the playlist feedback. Now, I think that when he says we've seen the playlist feedback, he's talking about PvP's response. Whenever he said that we needed to have like rotating modes that are, you know, basically like an arcade type mode where you could do 3v3 arenas, you could do control mode, you could do TDM, maybe even another game mode. But anyways, they said that they've seen that feedback. I would imagine that that's the playlist feedback he's talking about, and he said it's definitely something that we're going to consider as well. So that's great news to hear that they're going to consider what we're asking for. He said there's a lot of cool stuff happening with LTMs, so keep an eye out because we'll be sharing more in future seasons. So that's a lot of good news for Apex Legends, and I know a lot of you are going to be asking, well, what about cross progression? I just want to let you know and inform you that technically speaking, it has to be next season. That being because Josh Medina promised it would be coming in 2022, who's still at the company. Ryan Rigney, who's no longer at the company, promised also it would be in 2022. And this, my fellow Apex gamers, is the final season. Season 15 will be the final season of 2022. Therefore, they have to bring it if they're going to keep they're promised. I said this on my other channel. If you guys don't know, I have a third channel where I do news updates like this, but it's a lot shorter. I said that I would not be surprised if they make some kind of excuse and say, well, technically this happened. We're so sorry. We can't do this, blah, blah, blah. We'll have it next time. Honestly, they probably wouldn't even apologize. They would just ignore it and act like nothing happened. But, you know, technically speaking, they have to do it if they're going to keep their promise on season 15. I would anticipate most likely the collection event during the Christmas event, because they're going to be the type of people that said 2022, and I told you guys I'd be right, that they're going to bring it on the last month of the year so that they can say, hey, we kept our promise. But we all know we expected it a little sooner than that. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I'm kind of interested on where this crossplay discussion is going to lead to, and I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget the Loba Heirloom giveaway. Like, comment, subscribe. Winner will be picked in a couple of days. Don't forget it's Viber Die only positivity, meaning that we'll talk about the bad, the good, the ugly of the news, but we will always keep a positive interaction with you down below. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later, Gators.